Welcome back, guys. This is GM Chat presented by SMS Live. I'm SMS, the founder of Solana Made Simple and Developer Capital Markets. And today we're kicking off the morning with vibes and value as usual. We'll be looking at the markets, checking out what's happening across Bitcoin, Solana, and the broad crypto world in general, and seeing what's moving with NFTs and meme coins, predominantly on Solana. That's pretty much all we focus on when it comes to those kinds of things, just because they work a little bit better over here. But there are other, chains where we're seeing some things happen. So we'll dive into that when the time comes. But before we get into all that, guys, I want to start off like we always do with the quote of the day. This one's pretty good. It's, I don't know. You got to just kind of take it for what it is, and whatever you guys, take from this, enjoy. But the main reason I do these is to give you perspective, get you, your mindset aligned and on the same kind of pathway. I don't know. I think it helps, and I've seen success with this over the years of doing it. So without further ado, the quote of the day is: your purpose doesn't have to be a job. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to make you money or make you famous. Your purpose might be something you do on weekends or late at night when no one's watching, or it's something no one can take from you. Find what you care about, something that breaks your heart open a little, and get involved. You don't need $1 million or a title. Usually what you need is inside you. Your passion is the service of others, and it will become your purpose. Or if you use your passion in the service of others, it will become your purpose. So let that sit for a second and kind of think about it. Your purpose isn't something you chase. It's something you live through. Your actions, what you embody through consistency and helping others, you start to see that kind of come together. And that's one of the biggest things that I've found with Solana Made Simple, with this whole entire community thing that we have in Web3 and the space in general. One of the things that I like to do is just assist other people. I find myself doing that, just naturally at the gym and a lot of different areas. So it made sense to kind of go that direction. And the announcement today, I kind of just put a post out there. Before we jump into the charts, it's just a quick update for the community, what I've been doing, what, Solana Made Simple has been up to, as far as the content and everything we've been doing. It's sharing what we're doing, but we're also marketing, and we're working in that direction. So as you know, I've been building with Zeus Network and Zeus Working Group, pushing the Bitcoin and Solana narrative through ZBTC and everything happening in that ecosystem. That's continuing. Nothing's changing with that. Full force with that. Maybe even more attention in that area. But alongside with that, I'm officially launching the SMS marketing under the Solana Made Simple, and working with Developer Capital Markets as well, just for the brands and the products and projects that will come out of that. They're going to need a marketing team, and it would make sense to, instead of trying to outsource that, why don't we just develop on what we have now? It doesn't have to be like this grand thing, but serving directly, for what we're working on, and removing one of the things like away from DDG and with DD Gaming and Scrolly Feed, not stepping away. So I'm not stepping away from that at all. All we're doing is removing the marketing arm and kind of serving it with the SMS brand. So that's going to change over a little bit there, but that will allow us to take on more clients, partners, and help along the broader Solana ecosystem. It helps DD Gaming to focus purely on gaming development and that side of things. So there's just no more attention or energy really needed to be put in that area, to unify all the creative and marketing storytelling efforts through Developer Capital Markets as well. So as more projects and people start to develop there, like we're doing a little bit of a promotion. We talked a little bit about this at Zebu, going from zero to super team. Like, I'm actually looking for people that have large communities with retentive communities, because a simple game can become a stream of revenue, and it doesn't have to be like your main source. It's just in addition to, like, if you have a brand, it would make sense for you to do something like this, especially since you kind of have like a little bit of an assistance to get started with everything. And you're going to be entering into Solana Mobile with the D App Store, so on and so forth. And we've seen the success with Scrolly Feed. I mean, it's all over the place, and a lot of success comes from pushing forward, getting into those positions, and helping out and going forward. So what we're passionate about becomes our purpose, and that's the quote of the day. Now you got to look at the people that are involved with all these different things, how these have evolved. It's like, why'd you get into marketing? Well, I've been doing content for so long, and I started to market for projects and companies, and it would make sense to kind of hone in on that and start taking that in. It's the natural progression, I think, in this field or this space or whatever. But like the mission stays the same: grow the ecosystem, amplify the stories that matter, use our platform to help elevate others. As always, keep it simple. That's kind of what it's all about expansion and turning everything into a full scale creative marketing platform on top of the educational, the community plus we have the art side. Like it's just this whole wheelhouse, but it's just another leg of, what is Solana Made Simple. It's also a marketing agency now. So that's the announcement. I'm excited about it, and it's going to bring into a point where I'll be able to hire for either jobs, full time, whatever the case is. But that's why you see Sol Made Simple, the account. So if you guys aren't following that, you're starting to see how this thing is developing. The other side of this, Solana Made Simple Treasury is the 10% challenge, September to September. Everything we make, everything I trade, everything that comes into that, we have that, or I have that wallet set up with the ledger. So it's like I'm funneling everything into this, building up the fund. So it's not like, okay, now you have a project, an idea. There'll actually be funds like to really get this thing going, and taking it one step at a time. I don't know, kind of excited about this step, but I wanted to announce that and kind of officially, say, hey, we've got to the point where we're branching off, continuing to support, and growing within. Now those marketers, those guys, they're going to get more opportunities. They're going to continue to grow and develop in this space as well. So it's like this whole flywheel effect, if you will, how you take what you see, create what you want, and just keep going in there, keep showing up. And I don't know, it's just it's cool to see the progression, and supporting others really builds that foundation for you to get to that next level. And I didn't think that was on my bingo cards for the month of October, but here we are. SMS marketing is here, and I will continue to develop. You'll see more things, websites, all of that kind of stuff, marketing pushes for clients and all of that. So if you're in the Realm house and you're going to need some of that kind of content and the marketing push to get that extra little bit of oomph out there, that's what we do. And but before we get into that, guys, got a little clip for you, and we'll dive into some charts, take a look at what's going on in the markets, and then we'll cook from there.
I was glued to the charts. Every dip felt like the bottom. Every pump, just the beginning. But it never was. I lost sleep. I lost some soul. Then, I lost myself. Until I didn't. There was another way. I didn't have to chase green candles. I could make my soul work for me. Marinade staking. Instead of betting on meme coins, validators were competing for my stake. Hundreds of them, competing for the highest rewards. But not everyone gets my stake. Only the best earn it. No downtime, no shortcuts. Sam automatically delegates my stake to the top validators. Miss the APY threshold? No stake. Underperform? Bonds protect my rewards. And the best part? It works for both liquid and native staking. It's time to stop playing the game and start stacking wins. Minimize risk, maximize rewards. Marinade staking.
Alrighty, you guys know the deal. Make sure you're staking with Marinade Finance. That's the #1 place out here, the safest staking solution that you got in the game. Simple sauce over there. You don't got to mix it up. You don't got to do anything. It's not stir fry. You just literally press the shit and put it in there and let it cook, and you'll be rewarded. One of the best reasons to stake is, guys, you hedge against inflation with the underlying asset with Solana in general. You can use the liquid staking as well. Instant unstaking is coming out, so there's a lot of reasons to get involved. Plus, you have institutional trust backing that. OG's household name of Solana. It's an easy layup when you're trying to decide where to go. It's not always about the highest APY, but Marinade's probably got some of the best competitive highest APYs, if not the highest that they got out there. So pay attention to what's going down, man. When you see institutional money and big money starting to really look and build ETFs, DATs around, a specific product, Marinade Select, it's definitely keen to follow the lead. You can't really go wrong. You might be behind, but you'll be in good hands, I guess. I don't know. Take a look at it. That's where I put mine. But past that, there's other options. There's the restaking. So when you are, let's just go ahead and actually pull these up before we get into that. Marinade Select. I guess that's not going to matter for you guys. You can choose it, but share this here. All right, so check it out. Pretty simple stuff over here. You just hit stake now. Big, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Just looking at different options they have here. So native staking, pretty simple. And then if you want to go to liquid staking, you hit stake with MSOL. And then you got the options to swap it over to MSOL. And then what I would suggest is to check this out. There is a cookbook. I always forget how to get right to it, though. No. Documentation? No. Somewhere. I don't know exactly where this fucking cookbook is, but I promise you it's in here. Let's see. Reason I'm showing you this is because it gives you basically the go-to guide of opportunities within Marinade Finance. I always lose the page that I have saved with it. Cookbook, where are you? I'm checking the site to see if it has it up here. Let's go ahead and share this tab. Of course. There it is. All right, this should load up and we'll be able to take a look. I kind of go over some of these with you. View this tab, restream, switch it up. All right, so if you want the liquid staking option, this is what you're going to want to pay attention to. This can kind of give you a little bit of alpha of what you can, get involved with when it comes to Solana DeFi. And DeFi is definitely the way to go. At least learn slow if you need to, but you can supply MSOL Sol liquidity pairs, supply MSOL stablecoin pairs, borrow against your MSOL collateral, lend MSOL. So there's a lot of different options. You can use these filters and break them down and see what else is available. Even got some NFTFi. I don't know how often or if any of these protocols are still active like that or if people use them, but something you guys can take a look at. But you can definitely put your the way I see it is, look, you can let it just sit and cook and get that percentage of yield, or you can put it to work and get more and find ways to really, really exercise finance and the decentralized finance aspect that we have over here with Solana. And I think that's one of the cherries on top when it comes to Solana. So definitely check out Marinade Finance when it comes to your staking solutions. Next thing we're going to take a look at, might as well just switch gears over to BTC Sol. This is what I use for the restaking. This is where I take it. And I've been behind on Bitcoin my entire life. I'm not going to, pretend like, hey, I'm just going to pick up a Bitcoin. Like, unless I get lucky, I am pretty lucky. So maybe it'll happen. Maybe it comes, maybe a Bitcoin drops from the heavens in here. But no, in all reality, you got to work for your bags. You got to figure out a way to amplify and, stretch a dollar and make it make sense, make it make more money. So, well, if you go over to BTC Sol, I don't know yet. This is the updated. They did a recent update, probably not as recent as I'm thinking now, but you can go to the site. They can break it down exactly how to get into it. But the main name of the game with this is, guys, you would be able to take your MSOL or your Solana. If you go over here, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then they extended that even further. So it's not just Marinade exclusively. You would be able to use, let's see. All right, so it's the 5.5% accumulation rate, and you can see where it's broken down right here. It represents the target rate of asset conversion from staked assets into Bitcoin over 1 year. So it still does the staking, and what that means is after it's staked, you get the rewards on each epoch, and then that epoch would buy spot Bitcoin, and that would be your accumulation rate, 5.5% over the year. That's how it's broken down. You guys can dig into the documents and look into it a little bit further. But people wonder, they're like, how does it earn Bitcoin? Well, it basically buys it with the rewards, and that's by way of ZBTC. ZBTC is Bitcoin on Solana. I got into a conversation with some people kind of saying, why wouldn't you want to just have native Bitcoin? And the reason why is because you can't put it to use the same way. There are opportunities, there are things available, but the easiest, fastest, most realistic way is on Solana and using the rails that they have. Majority of Bitcoin is utilized on Solana as it is, not even on its native chain. So Zeus really saw what was going on. They've even released the Bitcoin Kit Dev or Bitcoin Dev Kit, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it's for anybody basically to use some protocol and bring it into Bitcoin to make that accessible for everybody. Not just here. They wanted to open up the broader, fucking ocean of opportunity there. Let's see. And so, yeah. You can stake with MSOL, JupeSol, or KaiSol. I don't know what KaiSol is. I forget. Whatever. But there's different ones that you can use for the liquid staking tokens to restake it, and then you get the Bitcoin that way. There's a bunch of other opportunities within Zeus Network. BTC Sol is just one of the products that they offer, and one that I like to talk about because it's an easy way for people that are getting into crypto, that they're trying to figure out, hey, what do I want to do? I only know about Bitcoin. Well, that's great. We can talk about Bitcoin. Wrong fucking screen, guy. Acting like I got my own producer. So when you talk to people, they know Bitcoin first and foremost. So if you say, hey, you have Bitcoin, or if you want to buy Bitcoin, you can buy it on Solana just like you do on regular native Bitcoin, but it's a lot faster and you don't have to go through all the headaches. You can just get a wallet, you can fund it, and then you can swap it to ZBTC right then and there. Once you get yourself a cold storage wallet, you can start depositing it into that and you'll be good to go. Easy peasy, no problems with that. That's probably the simplest way to get into it, because people just, I think one of the bigger aspects is we forget that this bubble of us that we're talking about, we're really the only ones that understand the conversation and care. When people think about Bitcoin, they're like digital money. They're thinking like computer chips of money and weird shit like this. So we have to take it to where they understand, all right, this is long-term savings. This is like buying your Bitcoin. This is buying Bitcoin on Solana. And once you get to that point, it starts to release the okay, I kind of get it. Let's, how do you make money with it? And it's like, okay, well, there's money supplied to it. And you get into those conversations. Another story for all that. But two things I think you should take a look at. Definitely my favorite two things as far as what to do here. The next one is taking a look at meme coins, finding opportunities in the market where you can accelerate that growth, or you can lose very quickly. So it's completely up to you. And that's cool. My iPad's recording everything. All right, come on. Take care of that later. We're done with you now, iPad. All right, let's get over to these charts. Let's see, DCM. A little bit of a pop there. Let's go to this. All right, so I put this together the other day and I sent it to kind of talk about what DCM was, and for people that are kind of curious of I think it's not legitimate or not real or whatever the case is. The main thing is with developer capital markets, it was born from a simple idea. What if developers could build live on chain and fund themselves in real time without ever selling the tokens? That was the idea of mixing internet capital markets, the idea of building a business on chain, and creator capital markets with Pump Fund, and finding the opportunities where you can kind of reward yourself. You don't have to go above and beyond. You have to do it with integrity, though. You have to move with clear intentions and be transparent. That's one of the biggest things that I think people miss. Is I think a lot of people question how is this different from Rug? It's well, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to just abandon it, and we're going to start this now. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that you got to look at. I've been here long enough, and I've seen opportunities, and it was one where we just picked up on that. So it was just an idea. I hit up Dean, and then he was like, you know what? That is a good idea. Let's get into it. So we took the first step was Project One. So we started as a live stream experiment on Pump Fund, quickly evolved into a proof of concept for a new kind of accelerator. The DCM blends decentralized content creation to tokenized incentives and open source collaboration to help founders go from zero to potentially getting involved with Super Team. And that's one of the biggest things that this has turned into. And again, this just came from an idea. We took a shot and said, I bet you we could do something here. Let's see what it does. The goal is to remove the traditional obstacles that stop builders: lack of capital, the connections in the space, visibility, not being able to get amplified, get the exposure, having the experience doing the marketing. That's where that ties into what I was talking about earlier. So, and replace them with transparent, community-driven funding model, and that's where we come into play, and that's what we're still working with. It's still a work in progress. It's very, very early, but it's what we got. It's what we're cooking with, and so far, I would say so good. The next thing is through creator fees and the live on-chain engagement, builders can bootstrap their projects sustainably while retaining ownership and trust. So the first two ideas, giving this away, maybe not the best founders, but we can work with them. If they're willing to show up, that's number one key metric you need. You need somebody willing to be there, show up, and want to participate. They bow out if they're just there to get the creator fees, and that's on them. Like they ruined a grand opportunity, and that's, to me, great. That funnels out who's not there. So one thing we are doing is kind of halting the brakes on that side and helping with the process of getting to the next step. And that comes into the marketing, comes into what do you guys want to do, assisting that whole like incubation and accelerating process to get them to the next steps where they can continue to build on top of that. This is something that I think that the right person with the right following that understands, like, hey, this is something I just have to drive. Like it's already a vehicle. It's on the road. It's got everything you need to. It's got the gas. I just need to give it a little bit of energy and a little bit of attention, and it's a viable product from there. And you can create a sustainable revenue model with it. You can do so many different things with it. And it's just the idea of games, and it doesn't stop there. Again, developer capital markets, it's always in development. It's always something we're going to build on. But yeah, that's like the breakdown of what that is. And we woke up to see, I mean, this was the initial launch, and then we had this spike happen. And then again, you just keep seeing these spikes, people seeing opportunity in this, whether they're taking profits, selling off or not. What it's doing is it's doing exactly what we hope for. It's creating revenue. We're creating opportunities for the buybacks. We vested the coins. We're learning more about that as we go, talking to people that have been in this position, getting guidance, seeking advice, and doing it the right way. Again, transparently out here, not fully in the open, but enough so people can understand and trust that there's a real team here. And we've seen what happens when people cook over time. So that's not financial advice. That's just the facts. So that's DCM. That's why I continue to support it and keep building on it, and we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, our goal's up here, and we're putting people in position to come with us. It's not one of those things like we need to succeed and it doesn't matter, like the product's going to do what it wants. We want everybody that's involved to succeed in some way, shape, or form. Like, yeah, if you guys are curious, want to get on a call, you're interested, hit me up in the DMs, Telegram, whatever. We'll set it up and figure it out. Maybe we'll bring you on Pump Fun and launch a game and a product for you. Who knows? But with that said, let's take a quick look at this. I've been here for about a half hour. I think we'll give it 30 minutes on the charts and everything. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm SMS. This is GM Chat, just going over some of the announcements, what's going on with all the projects and the company that we're working with. Right now, we're going to take a look at the market and see what's going on with the charts, see the price action, some meme coins, some NFTs, and wrap this thing up. We've got about 30 minutes left for the stream, and we'll get cooking from there. I saw some comments and some people that were messaging. My bad. I wasn't paying attention earlier. But maybe next time we'll get this set up and get this rocking. Love to have guests, love to have people on here. But when I get cooking, man, I sometimes just don't even pay attention to the rest of what's going on out here. Sometimes I think it's better that way because you don't get distracted and you get through the stuff. So might be, we'll work on that. All right, so we talked about this yesterday, and I said I think this is a huge opportunity for people, whether or not you see it. You see that we've launched here with Jupe, and actually, let's go to this. All right, so with Jupiter right here, we launched all the way back here, came back down, ran up. This isn't what I'm supposed to be seeing. We've come back down here to this point though, and it's sold off. Whatever, they're realigning and doing structural stuff. The point is, Jupiter's going to be here. It operates functionally. They give airdrops. People love just those three things alone, like or four, whatever they are. That's all it needs to be. And the price action does not represent the value of this company. Criminally undervalued. I think this is entry, but it depends on how long you want to hold. If you can hold for, I mean, you never know though, actually, because like this craziness happens. If we had some crazy bullish sentiment, it could send these like to another planet. But being that it's been here and it's bounced from here, I would say that this looks like a point of interest to maybe accumulate or buy into or add to your bag if you are down significantly. It is what it is. Coins be doing coin things, and now my stream is kind of frozen, so who knows if we'll be able to continue looking at charts. Oh, there it goes. Why is it doing this crazy shit to me? Why do we got to do that? Let's get rid of that. Okay, that didn't work at all. I did want to take a look at the chart changing on me again. Let's just take a look at Marinade and stop all this madness. All right. That's Jupes though, but there we go. What is the price of Solana right now? 180 or 190 or something like that? Craziness happening here. Let's see. It's still doing the buybacks that crossed over 3 million, I think, Marinade buybacks. You see price spikes with this over time. You should see gradual, pick up with this, but it's not going to be overnight. But it's definitely aligning incentives, and they're doing exactly what they said. I just want to take a zoom out approach to this so you can see like the price of a coin doesn't necessarily explain its value, but overall, I guess you can call this a nice trend from down here. It's clearly a 10x from the very, very low down here, but getting back to these areas might take some significant buying pressure and something significant to happen. I'm not sure exactly what the catalysts were to send this from here. Maybe just the time and where the price action was with Solana, but either way, watch institutional investors, and if they pick up on the tokens and maybe that comes into play. I'm just speculating completely, but keep watching this. We did see the spike up to 20 cents. Can it hold one of these? We'll continue to watch that. I'd like to see that, but right now it looks like accumulation point for me, to be honest with you. All right, next one, ME. I do like this token. I like everything about ME. I like how they're doing the incentives for the NFTs and the OG products and all of that kind of good stuff. I did do the 4-year degen staking just because I'm going to be here for 4 years, and that's my plan at least. So when you see coins that are like this, again, nobody has to like it, but there's reasons why you should just pick up on the bottom, especially if it keeps dropping low. Don't put everything into your buys. Just be like, all right, I'll buy 25 more bucks of this, 25 more bucks, 25 more. Before you know it, you'll have a nice bag of this, and you'll be like, I've been buying the bottom of the barrel of the dip. Does it keep dipping? Maybe. That's real. That's I don't know. For somebody else to determine. But right here looks like a good point to get into. Don't fade Magic Eden. They're doing their best. All right, next we'll take a look at Zeus. They are down significantly. I thought they were up at like 15 cents or so, down to 6 cents. Not cool, but markets do market things, right? Again, I guess all of these are going to have a very, very, very similar sentiment. Down bad, time to buy. I would just say buy the fucking dip. It's not too complicated out here. Yeah, 6 cents. Doesn't really matter with anything else right now. Everything's going to be in this position. All right, we'll look at Troll. We see some green on here. I do like to see that because Troll being down. I know it doesn't matter, but you like your coins in your bigger bags to be out. Troll's definitely one of my bigger bags. There's nothing to hide about that. I like the coin. I like the pieces. Don't like the price. But right here, I will buy. Right here, I will. I'll be honest with you. I'll probably buy if it comes all the way back down here, and just have to hold on and be a loyal community supporter. I have sold most of my bags off in these pumps up here, and was accumulating in these areas, I thought we would hold this point, but I didn't put everything in, obviously. I figured if we don't hold this bottom, then we come back down to breakouts and you start to retest these areas. It looks like you are slightly trending in this area, maybe double, triple bottoming. Either way, you're showing support around this area. I like to see that. 7-8 cents seems like a good accumulation point for Troll. Not financial advice, but it is something of interest to take a look at. Do your own research, whatever works for you. There's other metrics that can help give you insight, but again, nobody can predict anything. You can kind of use your best guess and indicators from the previous price action. Retired's been getting a lot of talk, so we'll just go look at this one, and then we're gonna look at NFTs because I think everything's going to be, for the most part, in the same position. All right, Retire. It's come down super low from up here. So if you feel like you missed out on this wave, well, here is your opportunity, but it could go lower, just like the rest of them. Nothing special other than people have talked about this coin a lot and it got faded. I remember seeing it. I will be honest, I faded this just as well as everybody else. But if it does come down to some of these areas, I will consider keeping some of my cash again on the side so I can buy into these things. When I did the $1,000, just a breakdown of like, hey, you're brand new to investing into Solana and what kind of opportunities should you jump into? Well, the first thing I did was take 300 of that. Fucking forgot the same shit again. Take 300 of that $1,000, put that to the side, and then use that $700 for all your investments and all of everything you wanted to get started, established, whatever. But continuously putting in that consistent effort of weekly accumulation. So every 10%, if you get paid weekly, if you get paid or get a nice trade, 10% goes back into what you're adding into the cash, or you're adding into your positions. If you have MSOL, traditional native SOL, or if you have meme coins, Jupe, whatever the case is, maybe you're doing RWAs, maybe you're getting into, restaking or leverage staking or whatever, you're adding to those positions. Find something and stick to them. Don't do 26 different things. The best traders do like 3 trades a year and they continuously add up to those bags. And then it gets to that point and they execute that trade. They might accumulate for 6 months and then it gets to that point and then it's like, all right, cool. Now I can take 80 off the top and reset this and focus on another one. But like if you diversify your strategy too much, you spread that shit too thin and you don't have much to cook with. You don't have much of a impact to be made there. I got some love on the comments on here. Show some love back. Appreciate you guys. And there's Jules. I would have you up, Jules, but didn't start this early enough, and we'll get there another time. Let's see what else. So yeah, NFTs. We'll go look at Magic Eden. Everything's a buy. I'll just say that. If you're gonna be here for the next 6 months, everything is a buy right now. Let's see how many people are tuned in. I got about 36 people in here. I'll take it. All right. View this tab. Close tab. All right, nothing crazy going on. So Mad Lads are at 31. I'll make this a little bit bigger for everybody to see. Switch this up so you can see that. Well, that's probably too big. Well, hope you guys can see that. Mad Lads, 31 SOL. Frogana, taking the number 2 spot, doing Frogana things. G-Boy Badges. I guess that's a new NFT or something. SMB Gen 2's 15. Oh, those are at 5 SOL, by the way. Hacks down or up to 7 or 0.75 SOL, up 69.9%. Good number for the culture. Almost sitting at 69 cent or 69 SOL, 0.69 SOL. I can't read today. Claynosaurus at 10.39. I would like to get a Clayno. Be a good one to have in the bag. I don't have any right now. DeGods up 3.7% at 5.24. So I always wonder if DeGods are gonna have like a grand old comeback. Who knows? Famous Fox 2.313. I didn't realize that's this, but I don't know if they're purposely doing that suppressing the price to keep it there, or if it just happened to work out that way. But somebody kind of mentioned like it's a great entry price for a new NFT investor or collector, or somebody that's new to the space because of all the tools in the community that Famous Fox has to offer. One of my favorite projects for sure. But it makes sense to keep that price lower for entry. I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's kind of bullish to kind of have that thesis. I do like higher floor price though, I'm not gonna lie, but that is cool. I guess you would have to just kind of stick to the collector and the trade side of things to hope for that. Player 2, 1.54, whatever. It's kind of flat. And collector crypt have their little cards. Those things are cool. I like what they got. I have a whole box of cards that I got to go through. So one day we'll be doing that and I'll become a collector crypt guy. Let's just take a look at some notable favorites here. Oh, let's go back actually. No, I didn't mean to do that. Great. Where are we at? Can we look? Oh, did not need to do that. All right. This here. Perfect. So covered them. Transdimensional Famous Fox down to 0.71. Cyberfrogs at 0.65. We got Pythians at 2 sold. Those wouldn't be bad pickup. Degenerate Apes down to 1.8. I say 1.8 because they're up to like 2 to 3 or something like that not too long ago because of the boost. Holy hell. These things are at a nice entry price. Look, if you don't have yourself a Galactic Gecko right now, this is a announcement of announcement. This is an entry price. I'm curious what it is in US dollar because 190 for Soul. Okay, not bad. Yeah, dude, not a bad pickup right here. I'm just saying this won't pump my bags. One of them's immortalized. The other one I use for leverage and play around with it. But anything under 5 soul is pretty bullish. I got 1 and 3, like under 4 soul, which is, I don't know how somebody let that happen, but they let it happen. So I don't know. Take a look at the geckos. They got spaces. Probably got one later on this afternoon. Talk a little bit more about what's going on there. And let's see. Let's close that up. Now, the last thing I'll take a look at, we'll run through my bookmarks and some of the updates in the news that we got. And then I got to get the content to create some of that stuff. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Let's pull this up here. That'll work. All right, so Jupiter, the Met TGE is going to go live in under 24 hours. It's already live. You guys can go check it out and do your claim. Soulflare wallets, I think they get some too. But check this out. Go see. I think if you just use Jupiter Wallet, you can do the, what airdrops are available. Solana Seeker users with a Seeker Genesis token can now claim their Seeker Moonbird SBT. Something I'm going to be doing after this. Let's see what else. Vala, check them out. I'm going to be posting a bunch of content on there. I've been trying to cook with these guys. I really like what they got going on. I like the future of this whole entire thing. Stay tuned for more updates with that. Let's see. Gold, Bitcoin, and Solana. Maybe add some SPX 500 or CHFS. I don't know what the fuck that is. To diversify and stay tied to the real world. Basically, they're just saying grab the index funds and you just diversifying. You're playing other markets in the world. Whatever. But you can do it all in Solana now. I think I just like this image. It was pretty dope. All right, so the other thing, guys, do you know about Gorbajana? I've been talking about this chain. It's a branch off of Solana. You're not like doing L2s or anything like that, but a crypto bro with an RPC endpoint and their own validator can front run your transaction, dump on your pocket, and easy bag per trade. So what does that mean? There's ways to eliminate that instead of like having this platform that prevents this thing or whatever. Gorbajana, single validator, no MEV, no snipers, no bribes. So it's literally built for shit coins. It's built for the shit of the internet. It's the chain that like provides that shit. No bots, no front run dumps. Pure trenching, pure trading. Like, how do you guys not fucking see this? But if you don't see it and you haven't heard of it, now you know. But I like Gorbajana. I'm bullish on them. I got a couple of their NFTs. I will probably sweep sooner or later here because it's your entryway in. If there's any kind of airdrop, if there's any kind of bonus, it'd be cool to have that. If not, I just want to have some of the supply. I like new chains. I like new things. What the fuck was this? Oh, Solana reached 623 days without an outage. Its longest streak since its launch in 2020. The previous record was 347 days. So all you motherfuckers talking shit about Solana, suck it. All right, Solana ecosystem is rising with institutional adoption, tokenized assets, and regulatory wins. Maybe we go get wings today. Maybe that was a Freudian slip. I need to go get wings. From ETFs to stablecoins, here's the top updates this week shaping the future of finance. Let's dive in. We're not going to dive in. You guys can, but check out Capital Markets. They got some cool shit. If you like, what's it called? Conspiracy theories, this is a great one for you. And shout out to DeFi Dev Corp. I did a thread. They did a thread the next day. It seems like I might have tipped them off on putting something together because it's a very, very similar thread. But they have a super team earn thing for about $2,500. Daddy needs some money, so I'm going to be cooking in the kitchen, dropping it all. I got some content for you guys later today. Last but not least, we're just going to do a little bit of a reminder. There's bonuses, boosted collections going on. Magic Eden is killing it on that end, really bringing some love back to the NFT side of things. But we got 10 minutes left, guys, and I'm just going to call it there. I think that's enough for the day. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, we're good. I appreciate all your support, guys. I got to get to work and get some shit done. Maybe we'll go out and get some wings. Maybe we'll go out and talk to people. What I do want to go do is actually tape up some of those scrolly feed. What's it called? QR codes. I want to go make some of them and tape them up. I'm going to use the glasses, the Ray-Ban Metas, get some content with that. But I have a ton of content that I got to edit. I got some like kickboxing, like content I want to edit. I got the whole graffiti thing I did for Solana. Maybe we should show that. I forgot all about that. Let's just take a peek at that before we wrap this up, actually. I gotta share. Oh no, I got it open still. All right, see, this is Vala. This is the shit I was talking about. You guys got to pay attention to this one, man. I like what they're doing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like what I see here. Go fund yourself. That's pretty funny. With Vala, from phone screen to TV screen, tune into Cheddar on 11/16 to learn how SocialFi will never be the same. I'm trying to cook with the homies. I like what they got going on over here. Get into the app. Follow me. Stay tuned for some more. Gorbaggio coming through the pipeline. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you guys here. I did a little spray. Whoa. My bad, G. Let me come back down here. There we go. All right, let's just. Ta-da. So there's the little Vampire S. You got the little ghosty. I didn't even think about the Phantom reference until I was painting it. This is supposed to be a pumpkin. Kind of looks cool. Kind of looks weird. I like it overall. Tombstone. And then a spiderweb. I like how it came out. I want to do it on a train. I want to do it on another spot. And I want to do some more shit, man. I got so many ideas. But this is just I was bored. Decided to say, fuck it. Let's go do something kind of fun. Something different. And this is what came out. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see what happens. I've been cooking, man. I'll tell you what. Let's exit out of this here. Not only am I working on the marketing side of things and the content side of things, the whole entire platform, what I've been working with, the SMS shop is coming up. very, very shortly. I just got to finish up some of the details and some of the stuff. Don't want to let too much out, but I'm cooking, man. Putting the work in and refining some of the processes. But I'll catch you guys on the timeline. We're close enough to an hour. I appreciate all your support. If you don't mind resharing, reposting this link or whatever, the live stream, get some more eyes and ears on here so they know what's going on. But just to recap real quick, everybody that I've been working with are, despite progress or prices and the market sentiment, everybody's cooking. A lot of bullish things going on with DDG. Scrolly feed's getting a lot of attention, getting a lot of recognition. Ems and Dean are out there, chopping it up, connecting, bumping into all of the right people, doing the right things. Dean's coding live in these clubs and shit like that. So that's amazing. Put some plans together for me to go out and travel and do some stuff in the upcoming year. The end of this year, Breakpoint. I know those guys will be there working on seeing if I'm going to get there or not. We'll see what happens with that. As far as Zeus, everything's pretty much going according to plan with that. They're building and building and building. They just can't release everything. Obviously, the Bitcoin kit dev, that's out there for you guys to take a look at. The Solana Made Simple side of things, marketing, that's going to be something you're going to see a little bit more content, some commercials and some advertisement, and maybe even tapping into a little bit of Web 2 with Instagram and some other things on that side of collaborations and partnerships. I connected with a friend of mine that has an account that has like 465,000 followers, gets anywhere from 50,000 views on one post, one story, to 1 million a day. So it gets a lot of eyes and ears out there. That'll be a really good way to segue a lot of the things. I'm trying to onboard him, showing him the value that what he has to bring to the table. He's a sports bettor as well. So I've been trying to find the right market and the right place for him to get in as far as sports pages. He was putting some plays in last night. University of Delaware won their game. So we won I think it was a money line on that one. But I wanted to show him that he can get on here and start streaming and talking about the plays, not giving financial advice or betting advice, just talking about his outcomes, what he's seeing, and preparing going into the next day. But that's all we got for this stream. I appreciate you guys. Again, this is GM Chat presented by SMS Live. I'm SMS, founder